Have you ever noticed how something as simple as getting out of a chair or walking across the room suddenly feels harder than it used to? Maybe you felt your muscles getting weaker or found yourself a little more wobbly on your feet. It's easy to blame it all on getting old, isn't it? But what if I told you it's not just age that's holding you back? Many seniors think muscle weakness and falls are just part of life after 60, something unavoidable. But that's not the whole story. There's one simple, often overlooked thing that makes a huge difference in keeping you strong, steady, and out of the hospital. It's something so small that most people don't take it seriously, until it's too late. This video isn't about complicated diets or expensive treatments. It's about one powerful habit that can protect your independence and keep you living life on your terms. By the end of this video, you'll learn what that habit is and why it matters more than you might think. You'll also hear stories from real people who turned their health around just by making a small change. So, if you're ready to feel stronger and more confident every day, stick with me. Together, we'll explore how to take control of your health, starting right now. If you are not subscribed, subscribe and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. You don't plan to go to the hospital, but somehow, for many people over 60, it just happens. It starts small. Maybe you were reaching for something on a high shelf and lost your balance. Or you felt a little dizzy while walking across the kitchen. Maybe your legs just didn't feel as steady as they used to, but you figured it was normal. Just part of getting older, right? Next thing you know, you're on the floor. Or you're in a doctor's office being told you have to be admitted. Suddenly, the comfort of your home is replaced with a hospital bed, nurses checking vitals, and the unfamiliar beeping of machines. The independence you've worked so hard to protect feels like it's slipping away. This isn't a rare story. It's more common than most people realize. According to the CDC, adults 65 and older are hospitalized more than any other age group in America, and not always for the reasons you might expect. 1 in 4 older Americans falls each year. Falls are not only the leading cause of injury-related death among seniors, but they also account for over 3 million emergency room visits annually. But it's not just falls. Complications from diabetes, high blood pressure, respiratory infections, or even dehydration send thousands of seniors to the hospital every single day. Here's the part that's hard to hear, but also incredibly hopeful. Many of these hospitalizations could have been prevented. Not all of them, of course, but many. And the key isn't in expensive treatments, miracle pills, or complicated routines. It's one simple, steady habit that most people overlook. Here's the question most people never stop to ask. What if the problem isn't just aging? What if it's inactivity? For years, we've accepted a quiet assumption that after a certain age, we naturally slow down, rest more, and accept physical decline as inevitable. You're not as young as you used to be becomes a kind of life mantra. But here's the truth. The body doesn't just give up because of a number. It weakens when it's not used. Your muscles aren't disappearing because you turned 70. They're disappearing because they're not being called upon daily. Your balance isn't vanishing because your birth year says so. It's fading because your body isn't being challenged to maintain it. Even many chronic conditions worsen not just from disease itself, but from the lack of regular, intentional movement that helps regulate them. So yes, getting older does bring change. But what we do in response to that change makes all the difference. So what's going on inside the body? And why does movement matter so much after 60? Let's break it down in a simple way. By your 60s, your body naturally begins to lose muscle mass, a process called sarcopenia. Without intervention, adults can lose up to 8% of their muscle mass every decade after age 30, and the rate accelerates after 60. Muscle isn't just about strength. It affects your balance, your metabolism, and your immune system. It's what keeps you from falling. It's what helps you get up from a chair without struggling. It even helps regulate blood sugar and reduce inflammation. At the same time, reduced physical activity leads to a decline in cardiovascular health, increased joint stiffness, and even decreased brain function. Studies show that movement increases blood flow to the brain, supports memory, and reduces the risk of depression, all crucial for maintaining independence and quality of life. And let's not forget immunity. A moving body pumps lymph fluid more efficiently, supporting your immune defenses. Especially in winter months, when seniors are more susceptible to respiratory infections, regular activity becomes a hidden shield. The takeaway: moving your body isn't just good for you. It's essential, like brushing your teeth or taking your medications. So how do we bring this down to earth? What's the simple step that can help keep you out of the hospital? It's not about joining a gym or signing up for boot camp classes. It's about consistent, low-impact movement that you can do every single day. Here's a short list of powerful, simple activities that have been shown to protect senior health and reduce the risk of hospitalization. Walking, just 10 to 20 minutes a day, improves circulation, supports heart health, and builds leg strength. Chair exercises, perfect for those with limited mobility or balance issues. Seated marches, arm circles, or light resistance bands can be done while watching TV. Balance exercises, standing on one foot with support nearby, heel-to-toe walking, or gentle side steps can all help improve stability. Stretching and gentle yoga keeps joints flexible, reduces stiffness, and encourages better posture. Bodyweight strength moves, simple squats, wall push-ups, or leg lifts help maintain the muscles that prevent falls. Start small. If 5 minutes is all you can do today, that's still worth celebrating. Add 1 minute tomorrow. Build a rhythm that feels sustainable. Make it part of your morning routine. Turn it into a habit like brushing your teeth or brewing your coffee. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Even if you're starting from zero, you are not too old and it is not too late. Let me tell you about someone who thought it was too late until it wasn't. Her name is Joanne, a retired school librarian from Ohio. At 72, she'd already had one fall in her bathroom and spent 6 nights in the hospital. She used to love gardening and walking around the block, but after the fall, she became afraid to move too much. She stopped going outside. Her legs got weaker. Her confidence disappeared. Then her daughter bought her a pair of resistance bands and helped her set up a movement corner in the living room. At first, Joanne could only do 3 minutes of gentle arm and leg movements while sitting. But she did them every day. After a week, she added walking 5 minutes down the driveway. After a month, she was walking 15 minutes a day and had started sleeping better, too. 2 years later, Joanne hasn't been back to the hospital. She cooks, gardens, and even started helping teach a chair yoga class at her senior center. She didn't reverse time, but she changed her direction, one small step at a time. So if you're sitting there thinking, "That's nice, but I'm not sure I can do it," I understand. Truly, I do. Starting something new, even something gentle, can feel intimidating when you're not used to it, especially if you've had past injuries or illnesses, or simply haven't moved much in a long time. But here's what I want to leave you with. Your body hasn't given up on you, and you shouldn't give up on it. It's never about doing everything perfectly. It's about showing up for yourself a little bit every day. If you want to keep living in your own home, if you want to stay active with your grandkids, if you want to travel, garden, volunteer, or simply wake up feeling strong, then this one habit, daily, mindful movement, may be the most important decision you make this year. You don't need to change your life overnight, but you can change the direction it's heading. So let today be day 1. Let's move together. Let's talk about the one thing that makes all the difference, and it's simpler than you might think: staying physically active. Now, I'm not talking about running marathons, joining a gym, or buying the latest fitness gadget on TV. I'm talking about something much more accessible, something almost every senior can do in some form: gentle, consistent movement. A little bit every day. That's all. The truth is that the human body was built to move, even at 60, 70, or 90 years old. And when we stop moving, that's when trouble begins. Think about it. Your body is like a car. Leave it in the garage too long, and things start to rust, stiffen, and break down. The same goes for our joints, our muscles, and even our heart and brain. But unlike a car, your body can rebuild, even after years of slowing down. So what exactly does regular movement do for you? First, it protects your muscles and balance. Two key ingredients for independence. Most seniors don't realize how quickly we lose muscle strength when we stop moving. The process called sarcopenia, age-related muscle loss, starts in your 30s but speeds up after 60. By 70, you could have lost up to 30% of your muscle mass if you're not actively using it. But here's the good news. Muscle loss is not irreversible. Your body can rebuild strength at any age. Simple bodyweight movements like standing up from a chair without using your hands, walking up a few steps, or rising onto your toes while brushing your teeth. These all help reawaken muscles that support your balance and protect you from falls. And falls are no small thing. The CDC reports that 1 out of 5 falls causes a serious injury, like a broken bone or head trauma. These injuries often lead to hospital stays, long recovery periods, and, sadly, a loss of independence. But you have more power than you think. Strength is your shield. Balance is your safety net. And both improve with something as simple as 10 minutes of intentional movement a day. Second, physical activity is your heart's best friend. Your heart may be working quietly in the background, but it notices every time you move. Regular walking or light aerobic activity improves circulation, lowers resting blood pressure, and strengthens the heart muscle itself. The American Heart Association recommends at least 150 minutes of moderate intensity activity per week. But if that number feels big, don't worry. Even 5 minutes here and there adds up. A brisk walk around the house during commercials. A stroll around the block. Dancing slowly to your favorite music in the living room. These aren't small things, they're lifelines. Studies show that seniors who walk just 20 to 30 minutes a day significantly reduce their risk of stroke, heart attack, and even heart failure. And walking is one of the safest, lowest impact exercises available. No machines, no fancy shoes, just you and your steps. You don't have to go far. Just go. Let your heart follow your feet. Third, it helps manage and even prevent chronic diseases like diabetes and hypertension. This might surprise you. Physical activity can work almost like medicine. The CDC calls it a prescription with no side effects. When you move your body, your muscles use glucose, that's sugar in your bloodstream, for energy. This helps control blood sugar levels, making activity a key ally in managing type 2 diabetes or prediabetes. Likewise, moderate activity helps relax blood vessels and improve circulation, lowering your blood pressure. Just 30 minutes of walking 5 times a week can reduce systolic blood pressure by up to 10 points, which is comparable to some medications. And if you're living with arthritis, light movement helps reduce joint pain and stiffness. It seems counterintuitive, but motion is lotion for your joints. Fourth, and often forgotten, movement supports your emotional and mental health. This may be the most underrated benefit of all. As we age, we sometimes face losses of friends, family, routines, and roles we once held. That loneliness can sink in quietly. So can anxiety or even depression. But something powerful happens when we move. Physical activity releases endorphins, the brain's natural, feel-good chemicals. It reduces stress hormones like cortisol and improves sleep quality. It also increases oxygen to the brain, supporting focus, memory, and even reducing the risk of dementia. And when you go for a walk, stretch, or join a community class, you're also connecting with yourself, with nature, and sometimes with others. That sense of movement is also a sense of meaning. A study by Harvard found that seniors who stayed active not only had better physical health, but reported higher levels of happiness, purpose, and life satisfaction. So even if your day feels gray, even if you're not feeling quite like yourself, just getting up and moving can be the first step back to feeling alive again. Here's a simple rule to remember: move just a little, but do it a lot. You don't need to change your entire lifestyle overnight. You just need to start and keep going. Let's say you're starting from scratch. Here's what a gentle weekly plan might look like. Monday, 10-minute chair stretch in the morning. Tuesday, walk around the yard twice. Wednesday, seated leg lifts during your favorite show. Thursday, stand on one foot at the kitchen counter for 30 seconds on each leg. Friday, gentle yoga. Find a senior class on YouTube. Saturday, walk in place for 5 minutes, 3 times during the day. Sunday, rest or light gardening. Before long, you'll feel stronger, steadier, and more in control. Science supports all of this, but so do stories. Let me share one more with you. Frank is 81 years old. After a mild stroke at 78, he stopped driving, stopped socializing, and spent most days watching TV. His blood pressure climbed, and he started having dizzy spells. His doctor warned him, "Another stroke is likely if you don't move more." At first, Frank resisted. He felt tired all the time. But his daughter bought him a pedometer and made him a deal. "Just 500 steps a day, Dad. That's all." So Frank started pacing the hallway during commercials. He used a walker at first, then a cane. He reached 1,000 steps, then 1,500. Within 6 months, his blood pressure dropped. His legs were stronger. And best of all, he was smiling again. Now, Frank walks every morning before breakfast and checks his step count like it's a scoreboard. His last appointment? No signs of stroke risk. And he says he feels more like himself than he has in years. So what does this mean for you? Sitting here, wondering if it's worth it to begin? It means the smallest step can start the biggest change. Your muscles remember. Your heart responds. Your spirit rises with every move you make. And the best part is, you don't have to do it alone. So let this be the moment. Not for perfection. Not for pressure. But for the powerful, quiet choice to move a little more each day. For your strength, your health, and your life. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Because the one thing every senior needs to avoid hospital visits after 60 isn't a secret. It's a choice. And it's waiting for you right now. We've all heard the little voices in our heads that whisper doubt, especially as we get older. I'm too old to start exercising. I'll hurt myself. It's too late for me. I don't have time. It's too hard. They sound convincing. After all, when your knees ache, your back stiffens, or getting out of bed feels like a task, who wouldn't want to just rest? But here's the thing. Those thoughts might feel true, but they're not facts. They're beliefs we've picked up, sometimes from society, sometimes from fear. But they're beliefs that can be changed. Let's walk through a few of the most common myths, and the real truth behind them. And along the way, I'll introduce you to a few people just like you, who challenged these beliefs and found strength, joy, and freedom on the other side. I'm too old to exercise. This is probably the #1 myth seniors tell themselves. It's easy to understand why. The world tends to treat older adults as fragile, as if age alone makes us unfit for movement. But science, and real life, says otherwise. Age is not a barrier. Inactivity is. You don't lose strength because you turn 70. You lose it because your muscles haven't been used consistently. And the amazing part? Muscles respond at any age. A study published in the Journal of the American Medical Association found that even men and women in their 90s showed improved strength and balance after just a few weeks of resistance training. Still unsure? Meet Martha, age 84, from Kentucky. After years of arthritis pain and sitting for long hours, she felt she had aged out of exercise. But after a friend invited her to a local senior walking club, she gave it a try. She started with just 1 lap around the high school track, slow, steady, and supported with a cane. 2 months later, she didn't need the cane anymore. Now she leads a small walking group herself and says, "I feel more alive at 84 than I did at 74. I'm afraid I'll fall or get hurt." This is a real and valid fear, especially if you've experienced a fall before or have balance issues. But the irony is this: the very thing you fear is what movement helps protect you from. The less you move, the more your muscles weaken. Your balance worsens. Your coordination fades. That increases the risk of falling, which then reinforces the fear, and a dangerous cycle begins. But movement, done safely and gently, breaks that cycle. You don't have to do jumping jacks or run sprints. You can start with seated exercises, wall-supported stretches, or balance practice with a sturdy chair nearby. Many senior centers and online programs now offer fall prevention movement classes designed specifically for people with limited mobility. Let me introduce you to Walter, a retired railroad worker from Michigan. At 77, he fell in his driveway and fractured his hip. Recovery was slow. He was scared to walk, scared to bend, scared to move. But his physical therapist introduced him to gentle Tai Chi movements. At first, Walter thought it was too soft to matter. But within weeks, his balance improved, his gait became steadier, and he felt more confident walking to the mailbox again. Now, every morning, Walter does 15 minutes of Tai Chi in his backyard. "I don't feel afraid anymore," he says. "I feel prepared." Exercise is too hard and takes too much time. When people hear exercise, they often imagine heavy gym machines, long workouts, sweating profusely. And frankly, none of that sounds appealing, especially in your 60s, 70s, or 80s. But exercise for older adults is different. It's not about pushing yourself to the edge. It's about gentle, smart movement that supports daily life. And that can be done in short, simple bursts. 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there. It adds up. You can stretch your arms while boiling water. Do toe raises while brushing your teeth. Marches in place while watching the news. A few stretches before bedtime. That's movement. That's exercise. That's health. And here's something remarkable. A recent study showed that just 10 minutes of light movement per day significantly lowered hospitalization rates in older adults. Just 10 minutes. You don't need 90-minute workouts. You need consistency, not intensity. Let's talk about Jean and Ron, a couple in their late 70s from Arizona. They used to walk every morning, but after Ron's heart surgery and Jean's sciatica flared up, they gave it up. Months passed. They felt sluggish and unmotivated. Then, during lockdown, they discovered a free YouTube channel offering 10-minute senior stretch videos. They started watching them together every evening after dinner. Slowly, their energy came back. Jean's pain lessened. Ron could sleep better. Now they joke that their stretching date is the best part of the day. "If you have time to sit, you have time to move," Jean smiles. "I can't exercise because of my health conditions." This is an understandable concern. Chronic pain, heart disease, arthritis, or past surgeries can make the idea of movement feel risky or impossible. But here's what most doctors and decades of research now agree on. Physical activity is one of the best tools for managing chronic conditions. And it can be adapted for almost any physical limitation. If you have arthritis, gentle movement helps lubricate joints and reduce stiffness. If you have diabetes, movement helps control blood sugar naturally. If you have heart disease, low-impact aerobic activity strengthens your heart. If you've had a stroke, physical activity improves circulation and coordination. Even osteoporosis benefits from light resistance and balance training, which can reduce fracture risk. Of course, you should always consult your healthcare provider before starting any new routine. But know this, exercise isn't off-limits because you're sick. In many cases, it's your best medicine. Take Eleanor, for example. She's 73, living with COPD. Walking used to leave her winded. But with her doctor's guidance, she started doing chair yoga to strengthen her breathing muscles. At first, it was tough. She'd stop often. But little by little, her stamina improved. She now walks to her mailbox without needing to catch her breath. "I didn't think I had it in me," she says, "but my body just needed time." Let's flip the script, from fear to freedom. If any of these myths have lived rent-free in your mind, you're not alone. But now that you know the truth, that your age does not disqualify you, that fear can be replaced with preparation, and that time isn't a barrier, you're free to think differently. Because when you challenge what you thought you couldn't do, you discover what you still can. No matter your history, no matter your current health, no matter how long it's been, your body is still capable of healing, of strengthening, of surprising you. So let's begin here, gently, kindly, and together. Think of one small movement you can do today. Stretch your arms to the ceiling when you wake up. Lift your heels off the ground while waiting for your coffee to brew. Walk to the end of your driveway and back before sunset. Each of these is a small step, but small steps are how we build new paths. Forget what society says about aging. Forget what fear has whispered in your ear. Instead, listen to your body. It may be older, but it is not done. It is still capable. And so are you. By now, you know that movement matters. But maybe you're still wondering, where do I even start? That's a fair question. When you haven't moved much in a while, or you're living with pain, fatigue, or fear of falling, even the idea of exercise can feel overwhelming. But here's the good news. You don't have to do a lot to feel a lot better. The most powerful thing you can do is begin small. Small. Like 5 minutes a day small. Because consistency is what heals, not intensity. Let's start with the kinds of movements that are safest and most beneficial for older adults, especially those who want to prevent hospital visits, stay independent, and feel stronger without pushing their bodies too hard. 1. Walking, the most underrated medicine. Walking is gentle, natural, and you don't need fancy shoes, a gym membership, or any equipment. Start by walking in your home. Down the hallway. From the bedroom to the kitchen a few extra times. Around the house during commercial breaks. Then take it outside, even if it's just to the mailbox or down the driveway. As little as 10 minutes of walking a day has been shown to improve circulation, reduce fall risk, and support brain function in seniors. If balance is a concern, use a cane, walker, or the arm of a loved one. There's no shame in support. What matters is showing up, step by step. 2. Stretching and gentle flexibility movements. Aging brings stiffness. Stretching helps restore ease. Try simple moves like raising your arms overhead slowly, rolling your shoulders backward and forward, neck rotations side to side, leg extensions while seated. You can do these while watching TV, talking on the phone, or enjoying your morning coffee. If you want more structure, there are many free senior stretch videos on YouTube, some as short as 5 minutes and designed specifically for people with mobility issues or chronic pain. 3. Balance exercises. Your secret weapon against falls. One of the biggest reasons seniors end up in the hospital is from falls. And the way to reduce that risk? Practice balance. Here are 3 easy ones. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Heel-to-toe walk. In a hallway, walk 1 foot directly in front of the other, like you're walking on a line. Hold onto the wall if needed. Single leg stand. Hold onto a countertop and lift 1 foot an inch off the ground. Hold for 5 to 10 seconds. Switch sides. Side steps. Slowly step side to side while standing, keeping knees slightly bent. These take just a couple minutes, and over time, they retrain your body to stay steady, even when you're not thinking about it. 4. Chair yoga or seated exercises. Not everyone can stand for long. That's okay. Chair-based routines can still provide incredible benefits for muscle tone, circulation, and mobility. Try seated movements like seated marches, arm circles, gentle torso twists, light dumbbell or soup can curls. Look for routines labeled chair yoga for seniors or seated exercises for over 65. There's a treasure trove online, specially designed with safety and simplicity in mind. You don't have to do all of it. Just one thing a day. And as always, check with your doctor before beginning any new routine, especially if you have heart conditions, joint problems, or are recovering from illness. Most healthcare providers will cheer you on. They know that movement is often the safest and most effective prescription. Real-life proof that small steps work. Meet Clarence. Clarence was 79, living alone in rural Missouri. After his wife passed, he stopped going out. He felt heavy in body and spirit. When he nearly fainted from low blood pressure, his daughter insisted he go to the ER. After that scare, Clarence's doctor gave him simple advice. Walk. Every day. Even if it's just around the house. At first, he resisted. What's the point? He asked. But one morning, after sitting for hours, he forced himself up and walked to the back door and back. That was all. Just a few dozen steps. The next day, he did it again, twice. Then 3 times. 2 months later, Clarence was walking a full block. His legs felt stronger. His mind was clearer. He hadn't seen the inside of a hospital since. And when his granddaughter visited, he could join her on the porch swing without feeling winded. "It saved me," he says now. "Not all at once, but a little bit at a time." You can do this, and you're not alone. No matter your age, no matter your current fitness, you can begin again. Today, right where you are. You don't have to keep up with anyone else. You just have to keep going. Because every small movement tells your body, "I'm still here. I still care. I still want to live well." And your body listens. It may be slower now, a little stiffer, but it's still strong, still responsive, still yours. So take that first step, then the next. And soon, the fear will be replaced with familiarity, the doubt with quiet strength. Because the goal isn't perfection, it's progress. And with every gentle, patient motion, you're building a life that's more stable, more independent, more you. Let's walk this together. If there's one message I hope you carry with you today, it's this: you are not powerless. Aging may change your pace, your strength, even your routines, but it doesn't change your ability to take care of yourself in small, meaningful ways. And the smallest one, just moving your body a little each day, might be the most powerful thing you can do to stay out of the hospital and stay in your life. You don't need to run. You don't need to lift heavy weights. You just need to start with 5 minutes, 1 walk, 1 stretch, 1 breath. And yes, there may be days when you feel tired, uncertain, or discouraged. That's normal. But don't let that stop you. Let it remind you how important this is, not just for your muscles or your balance, but for your freedom, your peace of mind, your joy. So let me ask you, what small step will you take today? Will you walk to the mailbox? Do a few stretches after lunch? Try standing on 1 foot while brushing your teeth. Whatever it is, write it down. Commit to it. And celebrate it. And if this video helped you in any way, please share your thoughts in the comments. What was your biggest takeaway? What change are you inspired to make? I'd love to hear it. And if you haven't already, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone you care about. You still have time, strength, and so much life ahead. Let's protect it, one step at a time.